when are you at your happiest?
Crossing the line after a Group 1 race in front.
And what is the trait that you most dislike about yourself?
I haven't got any unappealing habits.
What's the most expensive thing you've bought?
I think it was probably my car, I'd say. My Mercedes car, yeah, a couple of years ago.
To see a cityscape?
Yes.
If you had a superpower, what would that be?
Be invisible.
What's your favourite smell?
Freshly cut grass.
What's the worst job you've done?
Had to be mucking out, I'd say, when I was younger.
The last book that you've read?
It was actually Richard Hughes' autobiography, which is good, very good.
Is it true? Is it all true in there?
The stuff I know is, anyway.
And what's your favourite racetrack and why?
Ascot, for obvious reasons. It's been very good to me.
And what about any particular race that you really like?
The Prince of Wales, actually. I'd love to win the Arc as well, but the Prince of Wales was always a race I watched, and I'd love to win the Arc. Yeah.
And a career if you weren't riding as a jockey?
I haven't a clue. Hopefully I wouldn't have had to have been a plumber, so I don't know.
And if you could change one rule about racing in Britain, what would it be? If you could rule the racing for a day, what would you do?
Just make the bookmakers put into the levy. You know, I think the percentage of their earnings that they give back into racing is scandalous. The funniest was probably Seb Saunders walked out at Kempton one day, a race too early, and he was actually stood in the paddock with his helmet on, his whip in his hand. He was actually in the race, you know, he was in the next race. And Eddie Ahern got on the tannoy and asked him to come back for the win, and that was pretty funny. Yeah, it was a good laugh.
Which jockey do you most admire?
I've always looked up to Richard Hughes growing up, so I'd say him, yeah.
And what about a jockey to follow for the future?
There's a young lad up north riding at the minute. He's just starting to get going. He's called Kevin. I think it's Kevin Stott. I think it is. He's doing pretty well. He caught my eye watching racing one day. I think he's a very good rider.
And if you had a nice cut of acres field, 4 horses in it, which would be your dream paddock full of horses?
Yeah, well, like we were saying earlier, obviously Cityscape, Alcazim. I'd say Bated Breath. He was pretty good horse for me. Fantastic temperament. Them 3 would do, yeah.
And James, what's the thing you most dislike in racing, if anything at all?
Well, the travelling you have to do back and forward from the race is pretty harsh. Yeah.